Some question for you.
Sure.
Are you married?
Yeah. I got married last year. She's upstairs sleeping, so I can't be too loud.
And have you got any children now?
No children. I don't have any plans on having any kids either. You know, I think there's enough kids running around. Got lots of nephews and nieces.
We know that you...
Why are you looking at me? Look at Tim.
we know that you left USA. Do you want to come back to USA one day?
Only to visit, not to live. You know, I've got friends there. I've got family, but I'm home in Canada now.
Do you like your life in Canada?
Oh yeah, it's you know, I've got a lot of friends. I've got a good job. I've got a wife, house, cats. You know, it's a pretty good life up here.
What is your job?
Well, I do a couple different things. To make money, I actually work at a bank. It's one of the big banks in Canada. I was selling mortgages, but now I do IT, so fixing computers and networks. But I also have a small opera company as well.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm fine, and you?
I'm well.
I'm Achille.
That's me.
So, I have a bit of questions. What is the reaction of people that learn your story? Their first reaction?
Well, it's an unusual story, so a lot of people are very surprised because people don't. Well, one, people don't think of me and think military, but you know, it's not a story that you hear very commonly. So surprised, and then generally pretty supportive. You know, they want to support me.
Yeah, okay. Can you often communicate with your old friends and your family?
Well, through you know, Facebook and Skype are very helpful for that. But yes, I'm in regular touch with well, especially my family. We do see each other, you know, every, I would say, you know, my family comes to Canada at least every couple years, and then I just communicate with my friends through Facebook or telephone or just ways, you know.
And you see them to the like a Christmas or?
Not my friends from the States as much, but my family, yeah, that would be, yeah.
I wanted to know if the stop loss policy was already applicable.
It's still.
It's still applicable.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
Yes. As far as I know, it's still the law in the United States that they can do that. They haven't done it as much because the war in Iraq is done. Well, there's another war now, of course, but it's still the law down there. They just don't use it as much as they used to.
Okay. And do you feel lucky to know this story at the end? Because it could have been worse.
Yeah, it really could have been a lot worse. I do feel very lucky that things went the way they did. I came to Canada. I wound up being able to go to school and basically start a good life up here. But I know people who weren't nearly as lucky. So yeah, I do.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elias.
Hey, Elias.
Yes, and I have a few questions, so let's start. Are you still an opera singer?
I don't sing as much as I used to. I do more with artistic work, like I direct and I help put productions together as opposed to singing. So I don't sing that much anymore.
Okay. Do you still follow news of your country, or you don't care?
Oh, I do. Being in Canada, we get a lot of news from the United States. It's hard not to follow the news because everything that happens there affects what happens up here.
Do you miss the USA, United States?
Just like I was saying before, I miss certain things. I miss friends, family, places. I don't miss living there because I enjoy where I live now very much. So, like, I don't miss the United States as much as I miss things about the United States, like family or friends.
Will you be able to return to the army?
Sorry, will I be able to return to the military? Or?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
No, if I went back to the United States, would they make me go back in the army?
Yeah.
Would they make him go back to the army if he went back to the United States? Is that
Yes.
what you want to know?
Hope not. I'm a little out of shape now. What they would do is they would arrest me, and they would put me through their criminal process with the military. So technically, I would be going back to the army, but it's not like they would make me start running and giving me a gun or something like that. So, no.
He'd get into trouble.
Okay. Why did you choose Canada and not another country?
Well, a couple different reasons. Canada is very close to the United States. So, I mean, if you're looking at the two countries closest, you have Canada and you have Mexico. I speak English. They speak English in Canada, so I don't speak very good Spanish. I have family in Canada. I'm a Canadian citizen through my father. I had family in Canada, so it made it for a more natural choice to come to Canada as opposed to another country. Hi.
My name is Thibaut. I am 18 years old, and I have 3 or 4 questions that I want to ask you. The first is, do some people speak French in Canada?
Yeah, about a third of the population, including my father's side of my family, all speak French. They're from a part of Canada called New Brunswick or Nouveau-Brunswick. It's near Quebec, so they speak French. But nearly every province in Canada, there are French communities. They all have different ways of speaking French. But yeah, lots and lots of people.
Okay. My other question is, did the military pay the whole price for the university when you were in the military? Did they pay all?
So when I was in the military, they did. I had a partial scholarship. That's the best term I'm looking for. They did pay some, but they didn't pay the whole thing. I think they paid half of my tuition. Keep in mind, schools in the United States and Canada, they tend to charge a lot more than they do in the majority of European countries. So I still had to pay a few $1,000s a semester, which is about half the year. But they did help out a bit.
Thank you. My last question is, we will in the class speak about the US election. Then I want to ask you, what do you think about US election?
It's funny. So you have it's just so funny to watch. You've got you've got a clown, Donald Trump. I think he's a clown personally, because there's no way he could possibly be serious and be running for president. Then you've got Hillary Clinton. She's going to win, but what I watch it and just think it's so strange that someone like Donald Trump can get so far in the United States saying the things he says and feeling the way he does about people, especially minorities and women.
I agree with you. Thank you for this conversation, and goodbye.
Have a great day.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Victor, and I got 2 questions to ask you. Are you allowed to travel in the USA since you deserted the army?
No. If I were to set foot in the United States, I would be arrested. So I can go anywhere else I want, just not the United States.
Okay. If you could, would you get back in the past before getting enrolled in the army and take other decisions?
You know, that's actually a very good question. I've thought about that a few times. Certainly it'd make my life a little bit easier, but I wouldn't have the experiences I have now if I did that. I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't appreciate things the way I appreciate them now. So if I had to do the exact same thing, I think I might have to.
Okay, that's good. You prefer the USA or the Canada?
Or Canada?
About the Canada, yes.
Well, it's not a matter of preferring. I mean, I prefer Canada because Canada's my home. I mean, I've lived here over 10 years now. It'll be 11 years next month, actually. It's very it's become my home. And knowing what I know now, if I was able to go live in the United States right now, I would still want to live in Canada because I just like Canada as a country better for so many reasons.
You prefer the mentality?
Sorry?
You prefer the mentality of the Canada? You prefer the way it works in Canada?
Oh yes. Well, I mean, there's certain things like healthcare for one. Healthcare's a right here. It's not something you can buy. You know, there's less poverty. There's less violence. There's less weird people with guns walking around. So, you know, I mean, and I just find just to be generally a great country to live.
Okay. Did you ever travel in Belgium?
Once.
Once?
I flew through the airport. Last year I visited Prague.
Okay.
So we connected in Belgium, in the Brussels airport. It's a nice airport.
Okay. So,
Hello, my name is Lorraine.
Hi, Lauren.
What do you do in your free time?
And my free time?
Yes.
I play video games. I like to learn stuff, so I like to read about current events, or like to learn about technology, computers. So I do a lot of reading. I listen to a lot of music. Every once in a while I go for a walk. Try and get stuff fixed around the house as much as I can. You know, just normal stuff, I guess.
Okay, and do you play a sport now?
No, not a very athletic person. The only like I said, I'm not as active as I should be. I go for walks every once in a while. I play Pokemon Go every once in a while. That's as close to sport as I get.
And where do you work? Where do you work?
Walk.
Where do I work?
Yes.
It's for a bank called
No, work.
Work?
Where do you work?
where like
Where do you go for a walk?
walk. Sorry. Sorry, I heard work. My apologies. I just walk around the neighborhood. You know, I just when I first came to Canada, I didn't have a car or a bus pass or anything like that. So the favorite thing I like to do is just listen to music and just walk around. Sometimes you can find some very interesting stuff that way, like you find shops you didn't know were there or interesting neighborhoods. So I used to do that, and I just still do that.
How is your life in Canada?
Pretty good. My wife would have things to say to me if I didn't say that, though.
I need someone who explains to him what's going on.
I know. Do you play music? And what the kind of music?
Well, when I play music, I sing opera and just music like that. Although I play a little piano, so try and play some popular songs on piano sometimes. I'm not very good at it, but I do that as well. But mainly sing opera or classical music.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Attendez, je commence pas. Hello, I'm
Hi.
Lorraine.
Hi.
And, sorry, because my group of
Social sciences.
yes, we have a bus for go to the bibliothèque.
The library.
The library. And
Well, yeah, I understood that word.
sorry.
He understood.
No, I understood biblio.
Yes, we are very sorry. So bye.
You have to go. Okay. But the others are here. I mean, a bunch of 4 or 5 girls just left.
Sure.
Here is Hugo.
Hi. What do you do?
Hi, how are you?
Hi. You say that you play video games. Which game do you play?
Minecraft a lot. My wife's more of a gamer than I am. You know, so I tend to play things like Minecraft or Civilizations or you know, stuff like that. I don't know if you ever heard of a game called Rust. It's a very interesting game as well. So yeah.
Have you already met other people who deserted?
Yes, there's a larger group of them who came to Canada around the same time I did. They altogether in Canada there were about 250 of us, possibly more, but 250 we knew of. I met a great deal of them, about 50 of them. Since we all keep in touch. Here in London, there's 2 of us living in the town I live in now, so myself and a friend of mine. The city's had about 5 or 6 at any given time living here. So yeah, so I have met a few.
Did you already visit the Europe, or even better, the Belgium?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I used to go to England. I don't know if we want to call them part of Europe anymore, but just last year, my wife and I we had a honeymoon. Don't know if that term translates.
Honeymoon, do you understand?
So you know, okay, thank you. So we went to Prague for a week. But we plan on definitely doing more trips to Europe. Belgium's top of my list next time, I promise.
That's it.
Tim, have you ever heard about Samson and Delilah?
Samson Delilah, yes.
Well, Hugo is our Samson here. You see, he lost his hair. He used to
Again.
he used to have long hair, but ever since he lost them or he cut them, he lost his powers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Still saying this story every time we have class.
Okay.
Every week. So, somebody else wants to... There comes Victor.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Victor.
Victor.
Yeah, there is two Victor in this classroom. I would like to know, do you follow the actuality in the USA?
Sorry, the
News.
oh, the news. Yes, I watch the news in the United States. I don't. So I tend to pay more attention around big events like this election, for example. I don't, watch the evening news every night from, say, the United States or anything like that. Because I've got my own country and my own stuff to worry about. But I do follow major events that are happening, and I love following politics, and American politics are very interesting compared to Canada.
Okay, about the politics in American politics, what do you think about Trump and Clinton?
Trump's basically an orangutan with bad hair. Clinton, she's okay.
Still better than Trump.
You could better than Trump. I mean that my cat can do a better job than Trump.
Yes, I think so. And about Pokemon Go, which Pokemon is your favorite?
Well, Pikachu, of course.
Pikachu.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you
Say who
said
you are.
what?
Say who you are. Who are you?
I'm Basile.
Hi.
Donc, you say that when you desert army, you went to Canada, but you made a lot of escape. But why didn't you directly?
You took a lot of different plans.
You took a lot of different places, and why didn't you directly to Canada? Go directly to Canada.
Well, that's actually a very good question. The reason is because of where I was located in the United States. It was very far south. So I was in a place called Mississippi. Mississippi is close to, I guess, Florida, close to Mexico, kind of between the two. So it was all the way south. So I had to go all the way north, and I had to do it in a most efficient and cost effective way as well. So flying, I had to, in the United States, I was a small town I flew out of. Well, I flew out of New Orleans, but I couldn't fly directly to Canada because there was no flight I could take. one that I could afford. So I had to fly indirectly to get close to Canada, then drive.
Okay. And didn't you feel like letting your friends down before the war?
My friends in the military or my friends...
In the military.
You know, that's another good question, actually. You know what? I had thought about it, but I think, you know, I would have let them down more if I had gone to war and then had these feelings or refused to fight while I was in Iraq. I think that would have been much more of a letdown if I refused to fight. If we were in the middle of combat.
And now for you, was it a good choice to do it?
Yeah, I would do it again if I had to. You know, there were certainly consequences to my actions, but I feel that I was very fortunate that I was able to go to school, get a job, all these other things happen in my life. But, you know, it could have easily not have been as fortunate. But like I said, if I had to do this again, I certainly would.
Thank you. It was my question. See.
I have several questions, and my first question is, what does a typical Canadian winter look like?
Depressing. No, Canada's very big, right? So it's going to look different from place to place. For example, the place I live in, we get a lot of snow because where I live, there's this area between Canada and the United States called the Great Lakes. Have you heard of those by any chance?
The
Great Lakes?
The Great Lakes, does it ring a bell? The Great Lakes.
Yeah, they're very large lakes. So what happens is that a lot of water gets picked up off these lakes, turns to snow, and dumps right on my driveway. So we get a lot more snow where I am than other places do. However, other places in Canada, like in the middle, like around Winnipeg, for example, they get very, very, very cold, like minus 50, minus 60 sometimes with the wind. Then you have places like British Columbia where it doesn't even snow. It just stays gets down to like maybe 5 degrees at most.
Do you watch the Ellen DeGeneres show?
No. Ellen? I've watched it once or twice. I don't watch a lot of television. Well, a lot of cable, you know, like a lot of broadcast TV. She can dance.
What's your favorite Disney character?
My favorite
Disney character. Disney?
Oh, Disney character.
Yes.
Probably Donald Duck. So I always feel bad for him. He's always so frustrated.
Have you ever eaten typical Belgian chocolate?
Belgian chocolates? Yeah, I think I've had it once or twice. I'm much more into the beer.
And is Mr. Gérard sympathetic with you?
Friendly.
Is
Friendly. Not sympathetic.
I'm sorry, the mic, the audio cut out a little bit. Can you repeat your whole question, please?
Is Mr. Gérard friendly with you?
Nostalgia?
Mr. Gérard, the teacher.
Ah, the teacher, Mr. Gérard.
Okay,
Tim, my family name is Gérard. G-E-R-A-R-D.
Oh, yes, sorry, Vince, yeah.
He'd like to know if I'm friendly with you.
Oh, in front of you guys, absolutely, but when we were just talking back and forth, oh, he's very mean.
A mean guy.
No. Very friendly.
Hi, I'm Isidore, but
Hi.
sorry, but I sick.
Oh.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
How long did you train per day in the army?
All day. When I was in my initial training, so the basic training, you would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You'd go to bed around 9 o'clock at night, and you have breaks for meals, but other than that, you're training all day.
Okay. Don't you miss the army?
I miss things about it. I miss some of the exercise. I miss the friends, just being able to do some fun stuff. So I miss things about it. As a whole, though, I'm not since I'm not a very big fan of war anymore. I don't miss it from that perspective, but as far as things about it, there are things I miss.
Okay, and how many resistors of army went with you?
In Canada, there were we estimated anywhere from about 250 that we knew about. We think that the number could have been closer to 1,000 because not everyone was public or sought help publicly. So, to be honest, we're not 100% sure exactly how many. I met about 50, and as far as people from my own unit or people that I knew, no one I knew when I was in the military came with me. Everyone I met from the military that came to Canada, I met while I was in Canada.